We really thought we were going to die. And so my mom will tell you that she knew we weren't going to die, but I wasn't so sure.
A family of 9 trapped in their home with rising water. What they grabbed to bash a hole in the wall and escape as the home started to crumble beneath them.
Is there any way we could send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground or stay home?
10-4 standby. We have to get that approved with our supervisor.
A code red alert possibly delayed as floodwaters swarmed Kerr County. We hear new dispatch audio from that morning and the concerns that come with it.
It is another busy news night. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Wolf.
I'm Ashley Paredes. President Donald Trump will be in Kerr County tomorrow to survey all of the damage from the flood.
But first on Fox tonight, the latest numbers in our area. 96 people confirmed dead in Kerr County. That includes 60 adults and 36 children. 161 people in the county are still missing. More than 200 river miles from Hunt to the inlet of Canyon Lake continue to be searched tonight. Now, the president's visit comes as new information is being raised about the response to the disaster in Kerr County.
It's surrounding the county's emergency notification system and weather alerts were delayed.
We have our live TV coverage on the flooding response, starting with Fox SA's Destiny Fuller. Destiny, what have you learned?
Ryan, Ashley, John David Trollinger helped bring the Code Red emergency notification system to Kerr County. On Friday night, he listened to radio traffic as water started to rise, saying someone should have put out a notice much sooner. A 4 a.m. dispatch call from an Ingram volunteer firefighter, realizing floodwaters in the hill country were rising quickly.
Is there any way we could send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground or stay home?
10-4 standby. We have to get that approved with our supervisor.
Kerrville Mayor Joe Herring told reporters earlier this week an alert didn't come out until 6 a.m. That's 80 minutes after that first call. By then, it was already too late. Survivors sharing their confusion, asking what took so long.
We didn't get any warning. I usually get, Amber alerts on my phone or anything like that. We didn't get any until after it was all done.
Former Kerr County IT Director John David Trollinger was listening to the radio traffic that night.
The waters come up and the wall of water is heading down to Ingram. So you hear some radio traffic in a little bit that's going to warn people that warn to tone out Ingram that they need to start evacuating the RV park downriver.
Adding with heavy rains and low areas in the county, he already knew what to expect.
Someone needs to be paying attention and prepare people in our county for for an emergency. Someone should be ready at 1 o'clock when the weather service said that there's going to be a flash flood.
Saying authorities should have made the call hours earlier.
The 1 a.m. National Weather Service call would be my my pick. That would be the latest that an alert could have gone out to the public that could have saved lives.
During yesterday's press briefing, Kerr County Sheriff Larry Latha said an after-action review would happen after recovery and notifying victims' families. We'll continue to work to get answers about that response. For Fox SA, I'm Destiny Fuller.
Well, President Donald Trump will visit Kerr County to survey the flood damage tomorrow as residents seek relief from FEMA.
Fox SA's Tom Bosco continuing our live team coverage tonight. He spoke with people outside a recovery center about what they're hoping to see from the president. Tom.
Yeah, this FEMA Disaster Recovery Center is closed right now. It was open for the first time here today at the First Baptist Church in Kerrville. Reopens tomorrow at 8 a.m. This center offering some comfort and relief for survivors of the flooding. All of this coming amid the anticipation of a visit from President Donald Trump tomorrow.
My name is Riley and I'm 8 years old.
What is your name?
Avery Brown. And I'm 7 years old.
7 and 8, the same ages as some of the girls who died when Camp Mystic was swept away. But Riley and Avery were with their dad at the Blue Oak RV park when the water rose.
And there was people screaming and yelling and all that. And they were in the car trying to look, so I just turned around and got them out of there.
Dad taking good care of you in all this?
Yes.
Good, good. Justin is taking good care of his girls, despite the fact they don't have a place to live. The girls came with Dad to the FEMA Disaster Recovery Center that just opened Thursday. What are they going to do for you?
I'm not sure yet. They're working on it, and it's a waiting game now. Right now they're trying to find temporary housing for us.
And then they knocked again and they said, "Get out now."
Less than a week out from the disaster, Diane Masson still gets emotional talking about escaping her RV at Rio Robles.
The person that was helping us out had to push the car away so we could get out. And then he got out with the dog, and then the guy helped me.
She and her husband got some reassurance here.
FEMA says that they can help with the things that insurance won't.
The feds showing up one day before their boss does. President Donald Trump will be in Kerrville Friday. Justin Brown says he wants to go see him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But not to complain.
If this is anybody's fault, I think it's going to be a city and local county and city issue.
What do you want him to say when he sees this, or think?
All we can do is have better readiness next time. That's all we can do. And hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Diane, however, sees it differently.
I hope that he sees the truth and figures out how this shouldn't have happened next time, and that there should have been an alarm system. Why did they wait till the water's this high to knock on my door? I don't understand.
Now, we were here for a couple of hours this afternoon. We saw a few people going in and out, but it was hardly crowded here. I walked inside to ask how many people FEMA served today. I was told to contact the FEMA press office in Washington, D.C., sent an email, and I have not heard back from them yet. Guys?
Tom, we know that presidential visits bring about a massive security operation. How will this affect the area tomorrow when President Trump comes by?
You know, we really don't know exactly at this point. I contacted local officials at the Joint Information Center asking that very question. I was told to contact the White House Communications Office, which I did, and have not heard back. One big question that folks want to know is whether or not searching will be suspended while the president is in town, especially whether the air traffic will be closed because of the president's visit. Folks, of course, anxious to find those folks who are missing, the 161 who remain missing. Live in Kerrville, Texas, I'm Tom Bosco. Back to you guys.
All right, Tom, thanks. Taking us point by point. We appreciate that.
That's right. And stay with Fox SA. We'll have live coverage of the president's visit tomorrow, both on air and on our YouTube page. Then join us for Fox News at 9 for complete reports on what the president saw and said and reaction from residents.
While some are helpful, FEMA will provide relief. One small business owner says she's already been denied help from the group.
Fox SA's Anika Johns spoke with the owner about their struggles.
We lost all of the equipment for the construction company. I lost my entire RV park, my main source of revenue. Water got into my restaurant, and they told me that they can't help at all.
Lorena Guin owns and operates the Howdy's restaurant in the Blue Oak RV Park. She says the damage across the property is immense. Large holes remain where floodwater rushed through. Mud and trees need clearing. A retaining wall needs to be replaced, and that's just scratching the surface. And she says all FEMA told her was to try and apply for a low-interest loan.
Everything is gone. I mean, how am I going to be able to rebuild and pay a mortgage and pay that back? I mean, how are we going to do this?
After speaking to Lorena, I gave FEMA a call to see if I could get any more information. I called several times, only for the phone to ring and then hang up. So then we stopped by their disaster recovery center in Kerrville, where I received a similar response. No one there would talk to me, and they suggested I call their number.
Without us, the small businesses, how is this town going to survive? I mean, and again, I'm just one of hundreds. How are we going to do this?
Anika with that powerful story. Thanks. It's been almost a week since the deadly flooding disaster in Kerr County. Survivors still in shock.
Fox SA's Karina Hollingsworth joining us live from a home on Waterfront Drive that was ripped to shreds. Karina, how does it look out there today?
Ashley, Ryan, it looks like a complete disaster out here. The owner of this home behind me told me he was not home during the night of the flood, and he said he actually thought his neighbor was joking when he called and told him that his home was underwater. But sadly, he wasn't. He said nothing could have ever prepared him for what he saw when he got home.
What the hell am I going to do? You know, I'm 75 years old. Lost my wife, Now my home.
Hallman's wife died 8 months ago. He fears she wouldn't have survived the flood if she was home. The house, flooded with over 5 feet of water, currently has no floors and is filled with mud.
Our insurance company 2 months ago canceled all our flood insurance with no warning. They just sent letters out, we're not covering flood anymore. So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Hallman feels the world is caging in on him and his neighbors as they try to pick up what's left of their homes. They've had to face an issue they never imagined: looting.
All our tools of that house, this house, somebody came through and stole all of it. That's our world. That's our world. There is no empathy for anybody.
With tears swelling in his eyes, Hallman walked through what was once his home.
That room right there was all the way back on this corner of the slab.
Thinking about the what ifs is hard for Hallman.
But I realize there are many people up and down this river that need help, so I'm alive.
Now, Hallman says he doesn't know exactly where he will go from here. As you can see behind me, his home is a complete loss. And I'm actually going to turn the camera so you can see exactly where his neighbor's home actually collided into his. Now, Hallman says he's lived here for 25 years and he does hope to rebuild. But if he does, he says he does hope that a flood warning system is put in place. Reporting live in Kerr County, I'm Karina Hollingsworth.
Only on Fox tonight, a family of 9 trapped in the middle of the night as a wall of water tore through their hill country home. Tonight, they're sharing their tale of terror.
We really thought we were going to die.
Tad Dupree woke up to water pouring through the doors of his mother's home in Hunt. With only seconds to react, he rushed the family, including 2 young kids and his elderly mom, into the loft area as the river rushed into the home.
There were buoys, lobster trap buoys from the East Coast that we had as decorations in the house. And here's one of the ones that we used to bust our way out of the wall. And it was a battering ram, and it took all 3 of us, and it took about 20 minutes to knock a hole through the thing. And our behind the house neighbor, she told us afterwards, she goes, "I heard you guys banging on the wall like people who were fighting for their lives," because we were.
All 9 of them escaped through an 18-inch hole onto the metal roof as lightning flashed around them. The house partially crumbled below. Gina Dupree knows just how lucky they are.
There were 9 of us, so it was my husband and myself, our middle daughter, her husband, and the 2 children, our youngest daughter, her boyfriend, and then my mother-in-law. And the other point is that if we hadn't come for the weekend, she'd have been alone.
The family has set up a GoFundMe page to help not only their mother rebuild, but other families in the community. Just search Dupree family to find it. And guys, they wanted to share their story because, you know, there is some good news out there, people who survived this, but they want to let everybody know they're there to help the others rebuild as well.
Yeah, it's going to be tough times,
Terrifying situation there, and how they were able to manage to get out with all of that wall of water coming. I mean, you know the force of those currents out there.
Exactly, and then getting out through that 18-inch hole, that was something. All right, let's take a look. This is what it looks like tonight. Radar says pretty quiet, not much happening. We had a few little showers today kind of pop up in the Houston area, back over toward Brenham. But the big thing is we're watching the setup. There's a high pressure sitting out in the Gulf. That means the amount of Gulf moisture is starting to climb once again. And we have another one of those little lows kind of sneaking around out here to the west. That could be the triggering mechanism for some rain. We're already watching that water level kind of build up in the atmosphere. It's up to 1.8 inches now. We'll talk more about our opportunities for rain coming up.
Emma Allen at the Live Desk. Today we spoke to a UTSA political science professor about Governor Greg Abbott's special session agenda and what we can expect from it. Dr. John Taylor says this is the second largest number of items the governor has included in an agenda. Of those 18 agenda items, Taylor says the priorities of the agenda have to be on emergency management, flood mitigation, flood control, and flood warnings. He says flash floods are a fact of life in Texas.
There's going to have to be a lot of soul searching about why and how we dropped the ball in the last legislative session. And in fact, there was legislation that would have actually funded warning sirens That's going to be at the top, and I guarantee there's going to be a lot of bipartisan support on that to get that through quickly.
Well, something else Taylor says will be interesting to watch is the fight over THC in the state, banning taxpayer-funded lobbying, access to bathrooms based on gender, and medical abortions. That is the latest from the Live Desk.
We want to help the families as much as possible because nobody should be going through this.
A San Antonio man on a mission to bring comfort to the families of flood victims during this difficult time. The incredible work he's doing to make sure they are able to properly grieve their loved ones.
A growing memorial in Kerrville reminding folks the community is standing behind them. We take a look at how the memorial is honoring the victims.